Hello, 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 everyone. Marietta here. I am just waking up from a nap, and I wanted to pick up the camera and take a minute to make this video to let y'all know that this is a beautiful thing about um working for YouTube opposed to working a 9 to 5 job. I got to thinking about when my children would be sick, and I was on a 9 to 5 job, and I had to ask for FMLA, which is the Family Medical Leave Act. I had to ask for FMLA to be able to stay home with them, to be able to take care of them, to be able to leave work, to be gone for weeks at a time or days at a time, anytime more than 3 days. Then you had to fight for FMLA to be able to take care of your loved ones. And then when you think about working a 9 to 5, how hard it is to get that done if you don't have the right documentation from a doctor. Now, right now, as I'm spending time at the hospital, and yes, I do have to get ready to go back to the hospital, but I came home to take a nap because I could not get no rest there, so I had to take a nap so I can go back to the hospital again to regroup, to give myself a chance to take some deep breaths and go back. But if I was working on a 9 to 5 job, I would not be able to be with my son the way I need to be with my son right now as he's going through and as he's transitioning into these situations of growing up and things medically happening with him, for me to be able to be there 24/7 and not to worry about whether I'm going to get fired, whether I'm going to have to get written up, whether or not they're going to have to lay me off, whether or not I don't have to worry about any of that when you're working with YouTube, because FMLA is what you take it. You got your own Family Medical Leave Act from your job, and whenever you don't have time to post, or whenever you can't get to you can't get yourself in a position where you can turn the camera on and make a video. But as I was sitting up here thinking about how many times I went through the motions of literally crying because of the fact that I need to be home with my children, and I couldn't be home with my children because of the fact the job was said you can't take it at this time, you couldn't do this at this time, and then you got to fight for that, or you just take off and get fired and have to go to another job because you need a Family Medical Leave Act. And I got to thinking, thank God for YouTube, because there's no FMLA that I need to actually put in for. I can just take that time off, and that's the joys of being a YouTube creator, that you can take the time off to do what you need, or you can just simply adjust your schedule so that you would be able to still continue to connect with your audience, connect with your subscribers, and such a way that you'll still be able to drop a video and still be able to be present in the moment of letting them know exactly what's going on and what you're doing and how you're feeling. Just post, just make the video. So I got to thinking about that, and I said, I'm gonna make a video. Why? Because somebody needs to know that if they're on these jobs and y'all are out here and y'all can't be with y'all loved ones and they're being hospitalized and you don't know how that's going to turn out. You don't know how much time you need when a person goes into the hospital. You don't know how much time you need. There's no way for you to tell how much time or how long they're going to be in that hospital. We're doing test after test after test. I can actually say they're doing testing with a fine-tooth comb, and that could last for Lord knows how long. I could not begin to tell you, if I was on a 9 to 5 job, how long I would need to be at that hospital. All I know is I would need to be there. And you can do this. So many mothers are out there trying to get Family Medical Leave Act, or trying to be at the hospital with their loved ones, and yet and still they got to figure out how they can work and how they have to get somebody to take care of them, because they're afraid that the job is going to lay them off, afraid that the job is going to fire them, or afraid that they're not going to lose their position so that they won't be able to pay their bills or be able to maintain their homes because they can't get the Family Medical Leave Act right away. Well, there's just some things that you just have to do what you have to do. And that was when it came down with me. I had to do what I had to do. And sometimes I had to just leave the job and just go and take care of my family. I mean, because there's nobody else to do it. Just like right now, after I was on a 9 to 5 job, I would just have to leave and walk away from that job. Why? Because there's nobody else here to do it. So therefore, I thank God for being content creator, because I can pick this camera up when I get ready. YouTube does not have FMLA. You set your own Family Medical Leave Act, and you go ahead and you set your own schedule, and you handle life as life is being dealt with you. And that's all it is. You are responsible for how your channel comes together, how your channel looks, how many times you post a day, it does not matter what time you post. You can post any time of the day. It's almost like saying I can clock in when I get ready. Or if I don't feel like clocking in today, I don't have to clock in today. If I need to be at the hospital all day long and I don't have time to pick this camera up, then that's just what it is. I don't have time to pick it up. I don't have to worry about being fired. I don't have to worry about being reprimanded. I don't have to worry about going to HR. I don't have to worry about being dragged all through the mud because I can't be at the hospital for the day. I can be at the hospital for the day, and then when we're on our downtime, it really makes me feel good about picking up the camera because I know I'm picking it up still at my own leisure. I mean, I'm not forced to pick it up. I'm not being reprimanded. I'm not being disrespected or any of that in the process. So it's just such a good feeling when you start thinking about FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act, and how it plays a big part of the workforce and how it plays a big part of people's lives when they're going through things with loved ones and they're trying to transition and they're trying to get themselves in a place where they have to work. They have to work, but yet and still life. And then things begin to happen in your life and loved ones begin to get sick and you want to be there for them. And then you got to go and deal with a disrespectful situation of somebody telling you that the situation is not that serious, or you can't go right now, or you got to go and you got to go jump through hoops, even though it is something that, is legal, but still, jobs don't want to let you go for certain things. So I just thought that I'll pick up the camera and talk about that. And as I'm at this hospital doing what I need to do, it felt good to be able to take a break. That's another thing I want to talk about right quick. When you're up there and you're a caregiver for someone and they're in such a place as at the hospital, wherever, you want to be there for them. Yes, you do. You want to make sure they're okay. You want to be there checking on them. You want to make sure that they're getting bathed. You want to make sure that they're eating. You want to make sure that you hear everything that the doctor has to say. These tests that they are running are very serious. So you want to make sure that you're well rested and that you're taking care of yourself in the process, because it's easy for you to get wrapped up in what's going on with your loved one to the point where you forget about the fact that you have to also be taken care of and you have to get some rest. Well, I couldn't get no rest at the hospital because the door kept constantly open. They changed shifts. I don't change shifts. So I thought it was time for me. I had to take a stand and say, you know what? I'm going home and I'm going to get on my own bed and I'm going to do what I need to do to get the rest that I need so that I would be fresh. Because as long as I stay there at the hospital, the door's going to keep open. They're going to continue to keep expecting me to do everything for my son because I'm sitting there, and you have to go run them down for this, that, and the other thing. And so it was like saying, like being a gerbil on a wheel. So I said, you know what? I know what to do. It's time for me to go home, and it's time for me to go get me some rest, do what I need to do at home, check on my home, put together what I need to put together, and then when I return, get me something to eat, and then I will return back to the hospital later, because there's nothing really I can do sitting there. It is Saturday, so nothing else won't start happening until Monday. So because of that, I figure it's time for me to get some rest and regroup so that I can be fresh when I go back into the hospital. I can relax and I can rest because there's nothing happening right now. So with that being said, I said to myself, well, let me talk about this FMLA, because FMLA used to really be a worrying thing for me when I was raising my kids. And I used to worry, can I get FMLA? But you got to keep going to the doctor until you get in a situation where you get enough reports saying that she needs FMLA to be home. And then they say you exhausted all your resources. And then I had to go into prayer and ask God to give me a reason, give me the strength, make a way so I can be home. And he did just that. He made a way out of no way so I could be home with my children. I thank God right now that I'm in a position to be home, that I'm not working a 9 to 5. I don't have to cry and beg for FMLA to be there for my son. I don't have to go into nobody's HR office and be disrespected or hear them talk down on my situation as if my son should not matter. And it's just a beautiful thing to be able to move the way you want to move and to be able to be in a position to be home, to be able to take care of your loved ones. And because you don't want nobody taking care of them but you, because even if I was on a 9 to 5 at this time in my life, I would be worried how he's doing. I'd be worried how he's feeling. I'd be worried how he's coming together. And I want to know exactly what the doctors are saying. And I want to, I'm one that will participate in his care and in his decision making that's going on with him even at that hospital. So that's something major, and it's something worth talking about, because FMLA is a big thing. Does YouTube have FMLA? So that is the question. How do you feel about that? Are you in a position now where you can see the difference between you working for yourself or you having FMLA at work, or you having a problem getting FMLA? Have you had a problem with getting it in the past? These are questions that I would like to know, because as I got to thinking about having FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act, and how hard it is, sometimes it's not like they just give it to you. You really got to apply for it, and then you really got to be eligible for it. So with that being said, I just thought I'd throw that out there because of the fact of the situation of what I'm going through right now. That made me think about that if I was on a regular job, I would have to apply for FMLA right now, because of the fact that you don't know, you really do not know how long these situations could last. I mean, because we went into the hospital on the 2nd, and here it is right into the weekend. We're still there. We'll be right there Monday morning again. So I don't know exactly how long we're going to be there. But right now, as it stands, from the 2nd till today, we are still in the hospital. So this is why y'all are getting hospital videos from me right now. I'm trying to keep y'all updated on what's going on. With that being said, I love y'all. And so you got a chance to listen at my little rant, please subscribe to the channel. It truly will help us, and it'll help us build, and it'll help us get on out there a little more. And if you have stayed here this long and you have not turned your notification bells on, please turn your notification bell on so you will be there when I drop my next video. So I love y'all. I'll be headed back to the hospital. Y'all keep me in your prayers. Be blessed.